I first became interested in climbing Kilimanjaro when I read about the 7 summits in 2013. After reading reviews and with personal experience climbing some of the highest peaks in the Alps, I thought it odd everybody said it was easy, yet it only had a 70% completion rate. So we decided to take Umbwe, the most direct and arguably toughest route up the mountain. Let's just say it was a humbling experience. So we finally made it to Tanzania. When we arrived to the airport, there was a big line. We had to go through the visa application process, which you don't have to fill out anything. You just walk up, give them your passport, pay $100, and they give you the visa. And then you go through customs. When we came through the airport, our tour guide, and this is something that you have to arrange with your own tour guide, they waited for us at the outside, loaded us in the bus with our gear, and took us to our hotel in Moshi. We're staying in the Park Inn, which is, as far as I researched, one of the better hotels in the area. So tomorrow morning, we meet up with our tour guides early in the morning, and then they're gonna give us a brief. We're gonna repack some of our stuff, distribute some of our weight, and then we're going up the mountain. After a quick breakfast and some last-minute packing and repacking, our tour operator picked us up at the hotel as planned. First we went to Mashami Gate, where we obtained our permits. Porters were standing around waiting to weigh their load and get on the trail. After getting our permits, we jumped back in the Hiace and took the 45-minute dirt road to Umbwe Gate, where our climb officially started. We had a quick but hearty lunch while the porters weighed their loads. Shortly after, we stepped off on what was supposed to be a challenging but manageable day one.
Okay, so we started maybe 30 minutes ago, and we've been on our Umbwe route trail. As you can see, it is pretty smooth at the beginning. Our tour guide just told us that tomorrow is going to be the hardest day, and we have another 5 hours on this trail. And I don't know how long it's going to be tomorrow, because he didn't say. He just said it was the hardest day.
You look super happy about it, though.
Stay tuned, though.
See, I rode with the moon, see, I rose with the sun. The love of this feeling of feeling in love. The notion itself was a troublesome spell. Need devotion to another, I've made myself. I've been running from myself now most my whole life.
After a few hours, we sat down for a break. Evelyn took full advantage of her opportunity to catch up with the jet lag. Soon after we stepped off, the trail turned into single track with much steeper inclines. We steadily gained altitude and were well on our way to Umbwe Cave Camp. All right.
Day one. I'm miserable. I just climbed up, what, 6 hours?
More like 5.
Okay, I just walked up 5 hours up a mountain with some serious steep incline in some sections. I thought I was gonna die a couple times.
There's some technical areas where you might have to put a hand on the ground, but for most of it, it is straightforward. It's just steps. We just came into camp, had a little bit of a shower with a bucket of water and a rag, and having some tea. And then after this, they're going to make us some dinner, and I'm fairly certain we're going to go to bed early tonight.
All right, baby. How did you sleep last night?
You want it raw?
Just want the truth.
So, my night could have been better, but I did get a solid 4 hours, I'm told.
Four and a half.
4.5 hours of sleep.
We've been awake since about 3:44. Exactly.
So as you can see,
But the
we're
weather
starting,
is...
like, we were supposed to be woken up at 7:30. We've been awake so long that we decided to start packing up earlier. Maybe help the process along.
Despite the lack of sleep with both altitude change and jet lag, we were in high spirits heading into day 2, which promised another day of scenic views and great hiking. It didn't take long before we left the rainforest and entered the heather zone, marred with silky heathers, steep inclines, and phenomenal views. Soon after, the tree canopy disappeared and we were suddenly staring up at the top of Africa.
They are the scatterings of Africa, each uprooted one. They're on the road to Bellamanga, where the world began. I love the scatterings of Africa, each and every one. In their hearts a burning hunger, beneath the copper sun.
We soon climbed above the clouds. It didn't take long before we experienced the sudden weather changes typical with high altitude climbing. The temperatures quickly dropped, but thanks to good advice from our guide, we were well prepared.
Singing, magic machine cannot match human being, human being. African ideas, African ideas.
When we arrived to camp, we went to sign in at the ranger's office before returning to our tent for warmer clothes. The camp was in a beautiful location, but due to constant cloud cover, it was hard at times to find your way around the camp, let alone check out the views. Luckily, as it became later in the day, it cleared up just enough to give us a glimpse of our beautiful surroundings. Kilimanjaro was quickly moving up my list of great places, and for good reason.
The journey has begun. You shall find their hungry eyes beneath the copper sun.
So today we finished the second day of the Umbwe route. We are currently at Barranco camp. What do you want to talk about?
You have to be physically prepared for the challenge that it entails.
Absolutely.
Going up that leg of the trail.
Yeah.
The pace, it's really, I would say slow.
Yeah, we did a much slower pace. So what happened was the first day, Evelyn was setting the pace, and I think the guide had us set the pace just to see what kind of fitness level we are. Our pace was a little fast yesterday, so what ended up happening is by the time we got to camp, we were dying. So today he said, okay, fine, I'm going to set the pace. It was much better. It was much easier, even though it was a more technical part of the route. It was actually an easier day, which gave us more opportunity to enjoy nature, enjoy our surroundings, and actually enjoy the hike up.
It's really hard to predict the weather in Mount Kilimanjaro, and after 2 days, we can attest that it is very difficult to even figure out what you're going to need for that day.
So tomorrow we're leaving here and we're going up.
Seriously? I have no idea.
Yeah. Tomorrow we're leaving here and we're climbing a mountain and then we get into the next bit. But it's getting dark, so we got to end.
All right, so
since it's getting dark, we're going to stop talking and joke around. And we'll do another short video tomorrow morning before we leave, just to give you guys an update on what the weather is like and how we prepared for tomorrow's
journey to the end of the world.
Really?
That sounded so good though. Deuces.
Hasta mañana.
Due to a mixture of jet lag and altitude, we tried our hand at nighttime photography with mixed results. After a quick breakfast, we started with the Barranco Wall, a 300-meter rock scramble to the top of one of Kilimanjaro's many ridges. As we ascended the wall, the valley below opened up, with long views all the way to Mount Mero, the nearest volcanic peak. We took a quick break at the top before descending into the desert valley below us.
The way it was meant to be. There's a smile on my face, knowing that together everything that's in our way, we're better than alright. Walking between the raindrops, riding the aftershock beside you. Off into the sunset, living like there's nothing left to lose. Chasing after gold mines, crossing the fine lines we knew. Hold on and take a breath, I'll be here every step walking.
As we arrived at Karanga Camp, we went to sign in at the ranger station before settling in our campsite.
Take me now. The world's such a crazy
For lunch, our crew treated us to chicken with fries. Not the healthiest of meals, but definitely a welcome surprise at 13,000 feet.
I'm here to stay.
As the weather kept changing, we waited for an opportune time to catch a short but spectacular view of what would eventually become our final destination on the mountain.
So this morning we left Barranca Camp. First portion was the Barranca Wall, which is about a 200 to 300 meter rock scramble. Fairly straight up, but not quite as technical as you might think. You have to use hands, knees, everything else to get up the wall though. There's also a portion called the Kissing Rock where you basically put your chest up against the rock and you have to skirt around with the drop 5,000 meters down behind you. Not really. After
But it
that,
does feel that way.
Yeah, not really. After that, we descended back down into a Alpine desert, crossed that, went down into another valley, the Karanga Valley, and came up the other side to the Karanga Camp where we're at right now at 3,995 meters. That behind us is actually the peak. This is the first time today that we saw it. Just a word of caution, the weather is extremely unpredictable. I'm standing here in a jacket because it was cold when we walked up here. Then it looked like it was going to rain. Now the sun is out and it's completely clear, all in the matter of about 20 minutes.
I didn't bring my sunglasses because it was cloudy when I came out.
I'm prepared. So when you come out here, make sure you bring plenty of clothes for cold weather, plenty of clothes for hot weather too, because at this point you can drop down to your skivvies. No, you can't. All right, so all right, so tomorrow morning we'll probably leave camp around about 8 o'clock, go up to the base camp, stay there until 12 o'clock tomorrow night, and then we'll make our attempt to summit. Hopefully the weather stays the way it has. We haven't had any rain on our trip so far, which is great. We've read some of the reviews coming out here, and a lot of people complain about how soggy and wet it was the whole time they were here. We've been very lucky, it's been dry the whole time. A fair amount of cloud cover, mostly for the day. In the mornings, everything seems to be clear. In the afternoons, everything seems to be clear. If you get to see the mountain, the good thing is some of the camps that we've stayed in, you have a view of the peak the whole time throughout your journey, if it's not cloudy. So we'll do another video tomorrow from the base camp when we arrive, and then the next point will be from the summit. The next video will be from the summit.
Hasta mañana.
Tschüss.
Tootsies.
As the African sun rose over Mount Meru, we woke with anticipation of what should be our final day before summit. Little did we know the challenges and surprises the day had in store for us.
Good morning. I'm here enjoying my nutritious breakfast.
It's what is it?
Porridge. I put some honey in here for flavoring. Turk puts in there some sugar
Lots of sugar.
to make it taste better.
It's delicious.
We just finished our morning cleaning routine. So we're ready to take on the next leg of the trail. It's supposed to be about 4 hours. And
How excited are you about that?
well, I want to say that I am really excited about it. However, both Dirk and I caught a cold, so we're kind of miserable in that sense.
Yep. So just to give you an idea where we are, this is our little tent. It's got a little eating area in it. And then this is where the magic happens.
Where
Well,
we try to sleep.
But you cannot beat that view. That's where we're going.
We have to climb another 2,000 meters in the next 24 hours to get to the top by probably this time tomorrow.
Of your heart play like a drum. Listen to the night call, singing songs from all around. Go and sing to the mountain, go and sing to the moon, go and sing to just about everything, 'cause everything is you. And let your voice go, let it pierce through your soul. And let your voice.
As we arrived to Barafo Camp at 15,625 feet above sea level, we settled in at camp and soon after began exploring our surroundings. We quickly learned that Barafo Camp didn't just have spectacular views of the valley below, it also had impressive views of the mountain above.
You ready for the summit?
I need to sleep a little bit.
You need to sleep a little bit?
Yeah, I only slept for about 20 minutes, so I need to try and sleep some more.
Me, nothing, even a minute.
Nothing? How long is tomorrow going to be?
Where?
What time? So if we go up and then we go all the way down,
Yeah.
how long do you think?
From where to where?
From here?
Due to the weather forecast, we decided to go all the way down to Mweka Gate following the summit. This was a tough decision because it meant covering 32 kilometers both up and all the way down the mountain in a single day, bringing in our total climb at just over 4 days. We would return to Barafo Camp following the summit, pack, then head to Mweka Gate, passing Millennium Camp and Mweka Camp for a tough 9-hour downhill adventure. If only the weather would hold. The weather remained consistently unpredictable as it started hailing around nightfall. We were trying our best to get some rest, but the severe weather kept us awake for most of the night. As we were getting ready for our summit attempt, the dissipating wind left us with temperatures well below the average for that time of year, but we had no time to contemplate how it could impact our summit attempt. Around midnight, we left camp, pushing to make it to Stella Point for sunrise. We arrived at Stella Point right as the sun touched the horizon and watched the beautiful sunrise before making the final push for Uhuru Peak. Our water froze 3 hours into the night due to the severe cold, leaving us in a hurry to get down to warmer temperatures, but not before we took a picture from one of the most beautiful places in all of Africa, Uhuru Peak. We made it to Mweka Gate at nightfall, capping off what was a successful journey up the tallest mountain in Africa and one of the 7 summits. Despite being well traveled, it is always refreshing seeing and learning from other cultures. We quickly learned that most of the tribes surrounding the mountain rely on the porter industry as their only source of income. Take a reputable tour company, one that takes care of their porters and pays them what they deserve. Please hit subscribe to see lessons learned from our journey up Kilimanjaro. Till next time.